Welcome to Building Strength Every Day. Today I want to talk about the shift in our culture where we are celebrating the idea of selfishness. And let us not confuse what selfishness actually means. According to the Oxford Dictionary, selfishness is lacking consideration of others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. And this is also different from the word narcissistic, which is the person's inability to empathize or feel for others and are about their own self-importance and grandiosity. People are using the word selfish to mean self-elevation, self-improvement, self-enlightenment, self-evolving. These things are necessary for any person to be contributing to society for the greater good of society. But to be selfish is not caring about the people around you. And I want us to be very careful about how we're using that word. Let's use different language. Now, there's an article that I read, Beyond Selfishness, which is in the link below. And in the article, they reference another article called The Nature of Man, which talks about the economic man. And it was written by Michael Jensen and William Meckling. And they did an anecdote, which goes as the following. George Bernard Shaw, the famous playwright and social thinker, reportedly once claimed that while on an ocean voyage, he met a celebrated actress on deck and asked her whether she would be willing to sleep with him for $1 million. She was agreeable. He followed with a counter proposal. What about $10? What do you think I am? She responded indignantly. He replied, we've already established that. Now we're just haggling over the price. Now, according to the authors of Beyond Selfishness, the story is not startling. It is in fact well known, but Jensen and Meckling's use of it is startling. For instead of qualifying this in any way, they follow it with this statement. Like it or not, individuals are willing to sacrifice a little of almost anything we care to name, even reputation or morality, for a sufficiently large quantity of other desired things. In other words, pushed to the limit, every woman and every man is a willing prostitute. Everything, everyone, every value has its price. We get that. We get that there are factions of the society that are willing to go for that almighty dollar, right? That they're willing to advance themselves regardless of other people. They're willing to walk over people. But what's also true is that there are people within society who will not do that and who have self-respect and who have a level of integrity and will not engage in that behavior. What we also see is that there's a mistrust of the public. And in this article, it's called Civic Honesty Around the Globe. There was a study done, and this was pre-pandemic, in 40 countries, over 355 cities, with wallets that were allegedly lost. And they had some with no money, some wallets with $17 and some with $94. And on top of that, they did a poll. And so they asked the general public, which wallets do you think was more likely to be returned? And they did that for the general public, and they also did that with the experts. If you look at the following charts, you will see that the wallets that had the most money, that's chart A, was returned. So in actuality, these allegedly lost wallets, the reporting rates show that those that had big money was returned. Now look at what people expected. So the general public believed that the wallets that had no money with it was more likely to be returned. If you look at the experts who were academic professors of economics said more than likely that the no money ones would be returned. There is this belief that people lack this certain level of integrity. The article goes on to say that one of the reasons why the wallets with the most money was returned was a result of maybe people really cared about the welfare of the person who lost the wallet, or it could be because they didn't want to be identified as a thief. you can look at the articles below and take a deeper dive on that. The whole purpose of this video is to really call out to people with the heart, the soul, and the integrity to start being more involved in society. And one of the ways that we can be more involved in society is being part or taking part in the decision-making processes. And how does that happen? It doesn't mean something like voting, but it means taking that promotion. It means entering into the managerial positions. It means being part of executive leadership. I work with executive leadership, and I can tell you that there are people who are very selfish. They do not care about their community that they serve, but they only care about what their title brings them, which is the money, the perks of that position, and themselves. And I know that they don't have heart and soul, because when I see certain decisions that are made and is empowering individuals, then I know they don't deserve to be there. People who have heart and soul and integrity tend to think that they are not good enough to be in that decision-making position. And I would say to you that I've seen enough of them who don't have the skill set that are jumping in, because they usually tend to be a little heartless, a little cold, selfish. Think about the George Santos. This man decided that he's going to be part of Congress, and he completely lied on his resume. Completely. And he's still there. Why he's still there is another conversation. I'm not even going to go into that right now. But they don't care. They don't. And we who have this ability to think about people and how these decisions affect people need to engage more, because then we're really doing a disservice. So that means going for that promotion. That means maybe getting higher education so we could then be part of the decision-making process. So I'm really encouraging you. I hope that, I'm able to reach some person out there who's thinking about endeavoring in a pursuit that could be really impactful, and they can make that decision to engage. I know that I'm trying that with my YouTube channels, and I'm also looking at that on my personal career as well. So I've given you a perspective. I've given you articles below. You could look at it. I work in an academic institution, so I'm able to pull these things pretty quickly, but you can go to a library and you can pull them yourselves. You have the information. Now, and always remember that the power lies within you. Please like and subscribe my videos, and I'll see you for the next video.